Hello everyone, Aditya here. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are gonna do something cool. So I was seeing like some videos on YouTube. They were using Tailwind to create mobile phone, and there was also a video where to create like a iPhone home screen replication. So I kind of got inspired from that and thought, okay, let's create a mobile lock screen. So just a lock screen using Tailwind. So let's see how we can do it. So I'm using playground of Tailwind. So it's like play.tailwind.css.com. And here what you can write HTML and just use Tailwind classes. It's just from Tailwind. So if I just remove this, you will see it's rendered in a real time. So what we're gonna do, as we want our mobile, so I want it to be centered in this, like exactly in the center. So I will take a div and I will give this div a class or two classes actually. So first would be the flex and h screen. So h hyphen screen means height of screen, which is 100 view height. So what will it do is now it will create a container with flex box, data flex property, and it will have a size of the entire screen. So inside this, I want another div. I will call that div dot, let's say, hero. So I'll call it hero, and this hero, I want it to be exactly in the center. So let's give some styling to this hero. So I'll go to the CSS, and here you could see like there are already Tailwind components based on utilities. So what I would do, I would just say here hero like this, and I'm going to use apply directive. So if you use apply directive and bunch of Tailwind classes after that, then it will create, you can use this one single CSS class and then have it over here rather than writing all those Tailwind classes over here. So that's the power of @apply. So let's do that. So first we want it to be in the center. So we'll say mauto. So this will get the margin of auto. Then we also want like a predefined height and width. So if you're using Tailwind for long, so before there were like restriction on using height and width, but with Tailwind's JIT, this just-in-time compiler, you can have your specific properties or arbitrary properties. So arbitrary values actually. So let's do that. So I want the height of 640px. So I will say hi edge hyphen, and I will give a square bracket, and without space, I will write 640px. So this means it will get a height of 640px. I want a width of 314px. So w hyphen square bracket 314px. Now the next, oh sorry, px. Now we want to have like a background gradient to this, and I want the gradient to go towards right. So I'll say bg gradient to right, and then I want that to start from lighter gray or like somewhat gray 700 and go to 900. So the color scheme, like there are a bunch of colors in Tailwind. So you could see the list on the documentation, and it's like the range starts for each color from 50 and goes till 900 with an increment of 50, 100, then once, sorry, 50, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. As you go towards right, so from 50 to 900, the color shades get darker. So we'll say from gray 900, 700, I want it from 700. I want to go via gray 900, sorry, 800 to gray 900, finally 900. So here we have like a square screen. Now next thing I want to do is, oh, sorry, I want to have rounded edges to that. So what I'm going to do, I will say rounded, and I want the border radius of 50px. So I will give again the arbitrary value of 50px. So this will give me the rounded like border radius of 50px. So once I have that, I also want certain padding. So I'll say p3. So we have our mobile like skeleton ready. Now let's have the screen inside it. So let's go to our HTML again. So we have our HTML here, and inside our HTML, we need to create the screen tag like a div. So it's a div dot screen. Okay. So inside this div, we will write our like the screen layout. So this is like the main mobile body, and then there will be a screen, and inside that screen there will be other stuffs going in. So let's have some properties for the screen as well. So what we are going to do, we will first have our CSS again, and let's go over here and let's do screen. So I'm going to say to the screen again, apply directive, and then I would say position will be relative. You will come to know why it's relative. Then height of full, so I want this like completely full height, and I also want width of full, so it should occupy the hero width and height. Then I want the rounded radius as well of 50 px, because I want it to be rounded as the main hero container or the main wrapper. Then I want some background gradient. I will say bg gradient to right, and I will say I want it to start from gray. Now this time I want the lighter background of gray than the original background. So it starts from 700. Here it will start from 600. I'll go from 600 via say gray, maybe 700. Let's go on a new line, and I want it to so 700 and going to gray 800 maybe. Yeah, something like this. So as you could see, we have our screen ready now. So once our screen is ready, now let's go and add a black thing over here, because some phones have that, like a black speaker kind of thing. So we will just add it over here. So let's go to our HTML again, and here inside our screen, let's first have that black slot or that speaker slot. So I will say div dot speaker. Okay, and then I will go back again to the CSS, right here the CSS of that speaker. So I will say dot speaker, like the class, again the apply directive, and then my classes. So this one should have a position of absolute. So I'll tell you what it does. So absolute, and let's give it some width and height. So I'll say double width of 32 and height of 2, and let's have it BG black. Okay, so oh, sorry, we just 1L. Yeah, so as you see, it is over here, this thing. So when you have a position absolute, the position like the element or the div will take the position to the very starting of the parent. Okay, so in this case screen is the parent, and when you put it as an absolute, the position starts to the very starting point. And now let's give it some correct positioning. So I will say I want it to be from top, it should be 1. As you see, it became bit down, and from left I want it 50%. So I'll say left hyphen 1/2. Now you could see like it had went all the way over there, because 50% of this is over here and starting from 50%. So I want it exactly in the center. So how I'm going to do it, I will use transform translate. So I will say transform and then translate. I want negative translate. So to keep it in a center, you apply just the 50% translate in a, sorry, minus 50% translate. So I'll say translate x, and I would go 1/2. So you see it's in the middle now, and I also want it a bit higher. So I would say minus translate y 1/2. As you could see now, it's exactly cut touching over here. So we have our speaker ready. Also, we can give it slightly rounded borders. So let's put some rounded over here, rounded. So it's like kind of this. Okay, so we have this thing ready. Now let's go to our next thing. So we will need to show here some time. Okay, so I'll go over here to my HTML, and after the speaker, actually I can just remove the space. After the speaker, let's add another div to have the time. So what we are going to do, we will have a div over here. So we'll say div time slot. Okay, time slot, and here we will add the time. So first would be h3 dot text center. I want this in the center, and I will give a time. Now the current time is 15:04, and then I will also want to have it like a date. So I will give h3 dot text center, And let's give a date of today. So today's date is 24. So I'll say Saturday, 24 July. Okay. So now you could see we have our text over here. Now let's get this text bit down and let's give it some styling. So I'll get this time slot class, go in the CSS, and here I will write that class. So I'll say time slot, and I will also give this a position of absolute. So I'll say absolute, and then I want it like the same way of this. So I'll take this thing actually till here. Let's get it, and let's give a top of maybe 32. That's too much. Maybe 12. Okay, let's do 18. Okay, so 18 is not there. It's 20. Yeah. Now let's give some text size. So before that, let's give it text white, or let's do text gray 50, and then let's give it a some sizing. So it starts from SL, XL, and XS, SM, extra small, small, LG, XL, 2XL, 3XL, 4XL, and it keeps on going like that. So I want this to be 3XL. So as you could see, it's kind of very big. So also let's give the, okay, let's do more margin from top. So let's do this 28, sorry, 24. Yeah, maybe 32. Yeah, that's fine. And now I want for this only this date thing, I want it to be text XL, and that's it. It should be okay. And let's give some letter spacing. So I'll say tracking, and I'll say white. So let's do uh, normal. Normal is fine. For time, we will do the tracking white. So let's go over here and let's do it like this. Okay, that's cool. Let's do white actually. White. Okay, so that's great. Now let's go back over here. Now we have our time slot. Now let's give some message banners. But before that, let's put some network tab over here, like network over here and something like that. So what we are going to do before time slot, let's also have a slot for network tab. So I'll say div network. Okay, network. Oh, sorry, network. So what I want, like, so I could create now 4 lines, so 4 vertical lines. So I said div, and I want this to be 4. Okay, so let's give this class as like line 1, then class as line 2, class as line 3, and class as, oh sorry, line 4. Okay, now let's go to our CSS. So we'll go to our CSS over here. Let's have it. So at the rate, sorry, dot network first, and then apply directive. And what we want is we want it to be top left. So we'll give it position of absolute. Let's give a width of something around, let's say 12, and let's give it a padding of 1. And also let's give it some, okay, no need of height, but let's first have it like this, and then to our network div, or let's do like line 1, sorry, line 1 dot line 2, line 3, and line 4. Let's do at the rate apply text white, and now let's give, and also each one will have a in like same width. So what we are gonna do, we will give it a width of say maybe, let's have it 5 first, and let's see how it goes, and also height of maybe 5. Okay, so we have it. Okay, this should be bgy, not text white, sorry. Yeah, so we have these lines over here. So now let's have some spacing between them as well. So we'll say mx1. Okay, so we have them over here. Now let's go back to our HTML again. And if you see, we have this line, and this should be in flex. So we'll go over here and we'll say flex. so that they are all like one after the other. Okay, now let's remove this margin and let's see how it is. Let's remove this. Yeah, we'll just give it like let's do space. So we'll go here and say space x, maybe one. Yeah, that's fine. And let's do this width of. Okay, it should be fine. And let's do h of. Okay, let's do width of one and h of one. And let's do this. Or rather, let's do 5, 4 maybe. Yeah, let's do 6. Yeah, 6 is fine. So now each line will have an individual width. So what we will do, we will say line 1 will be smallest. So line 1, sorry, it would be height actually, not width. We will say h of 2. Okay, and we will do the same thing for line 2, line 3, line 4, line. Okay, so let's copy this and let's paste it over here. So line 2 will be slightly bigger, so h of 2. Line 3, h of 6, and line 4 maybe h of 8. Okay, we have them, but if you see they are like other way around, so we just need to move them other way around. So now we will just rotate this div. So we'll say transform and we will say rotate 180 degree. Okay, so if you see this has become like the longer line has come to the left. So what we could do, we can have the length of longer line to be shorter. So we can do here, this will be h2, this will be h4, this will be h6, and this will be h8. So we have our network thing over here. Now let's push it bit to the bottom. So what we are going to do, we will say top 2. Okay, so we have our link network thing over here. Let's make it a bit smaller. So this, let's make it kind of like maybe 3, and let's do this 5, and let's do this 6. Okay, that's great. So we have our network over here, and also we could have like one of the network can be black. So let's have the border. So if I say border, or let's not give the border, let's give it like the last one. Let's make it black, bg black. So this one is black. So let's make the first one black, to be honest. So let's make this one to be black. So we have this one black, and then this will show us the network. So now once that's done, let's go to our message banners and let's have some message over here. So we can give the network name after this, say div dot network name, and let's give a name. We'll say nw, or let's do network like this, and then let's have the css for this. So we'll go over here, we'll just put over here like this, and let's give it some styling. So we'll say at the rate apply text white, and let's push it to the bit, sorry, more left. So we'll say absolute, then left maybe 6, and let's do 12. Yeah, maybe 14. Okay, 12 is okay. And let's have a padding, so padding of 2, and let's push it bit to the bottom, rather 1. Yeah, and top maybe 2. Yes, and then we will have it text, maybe sn. Yeah, that's correct. And let's have it to the like this. Okay, perfect. So we have our network and everything set. We can also do it like text semi-bold, sorry, font semi-bold, not text semi-bold, font semi-bold, and it will be a bit bolder. So we have our network, and now here we have our time, here we have our date. Now let's have some message banners. I won't add icons and everything to that. I'll just create like a notification tagline, and then in that we will just have some styling and also some other things. So let's create that now. So first we will need a banner, like a wrapper over here for the notification. So div dot message wrapper, and in this I will have, so I will create first banners. So first banner would be something like this, div dot message banner, and in that banner I will have first, so here h3, and I will give it a name as title. So this will be our notification title. So I will say let's do email, and rest now something like notification from web dev artisan, artisan. And then next thing would be our paragraph, and let's give this as a message title. So I'll give class of, sorry, not message title but message body. So I'll just give body like this. So once we have it, we'll say subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and let's have another notification. So the banner will be there, so we'll just copy this. So wrapper will be there, and we'll just copy the banners. So this would be another banner, and here we will say maybe same notification, and also give another thing, hit the like button if you like this video, and we will have one more. So here we will say share this video if you feel it is worth sharing. So we have our notification, but if you see, it's very kind of ugly. So let's style them. So let's start with our message wrapper. So let's copy the wrapper and the class, and let's go to our CSS file. Here we will say message wrapper, and now let's start with it. So the first thing we will need is we want it to be position absolute for, of course, so we'll say absolute, and then we will say like from the top it should be have the margin of 40. So from the top it should be, let's do it 42 if it's there. I guess it's 44. Yeah, 44. And let's give it a width of full. Okay, so we have our message wrapper ready. Now let's go to our message banner. So we will say if I have the correct class name, message banner, yes, it's message banner, and then we have title and the body. So let's go over here, let's do message banner, and in this banner we will need a bunch of classes. So let's say apply, and we will go with width of, so I want exactly around 90% width, so let's say 11 by 12, and then I want it to be in the center, or first make it like a HTML auto, so it will automatically go for the height. Of course you can give a height and have it like a those things that okay view more something like that, but I'll just keep it for now H auto. And then I want background of gray of 200, and I also want the background opacity, so I'll go with the opacity, and I want arbitrary opacity, so I'll go with 0.1 like this. And next I want it to be have a display block, and also I want it in the center, so I'll say MX auto, plus I want some margin from the between these banners, so I'll say MB4, and then I want the border to be bit or more rounded, so I'll say rounded MD, and some padding, so I'll say P of 5. So we have this now. Now let's go, and if you see this is going towards that, we'll fix that as well. So let's go to the title now. So let's say dollar title, and let's have it like @apply, and then for the title I want it to be like bit spread out, so I'll say tracking white, and also I want it to be have some margin between the title and the body, so I'll say bit of a margin, and let's do font semibone. So we have this, and let's give it a text of gray 50. So we have our notification thing over here. Now once we have this, now let's do the same thing for the body. So we'll do body, and here we will say apply. I just want text to be gray of 50. So we have our text gray of 50, and yeah, that should be okay. Now let's fix this thing. So if you see, like, this thing has went outside of this. So what we are gonna do to our hero, we will say overflow y, and we will do this auto. So if you see, now this has come over here like this. Okay, we'll fix that as well. And yeah, it shouldn't be to the y, so we'll give something like overflow hidden. And then we need to fix this part as well. So we go for the screen, and to the screen also we give overflow hidden, and you could see, like, this thing is now trimmed off. So what we will do, we won't go overflow hidden over here, or rather for the yeah, to the screen we can have another wrapper for this, like a div, and that div will have all these things, or rather this notification thing. Let's do like this. So let's go over here and do notification banner over here, or sorry, wrapper as overflow hidden. Okay, and to the main thing, like for the other stuff, okay, let's give it a height. So we will give height of, say, 96, and yeah, this should be okay. Or rather, let's give an arbitrary height. So we will give a height of, say, 400 px. So this, as you could see, like, it has become like this, and we will give overflow x of hidden. And for the vertical scroll, yeah, I want that vertical scroll. Now if you see, this scroll bar is not that nice looking, so let's do that scroll bar as well. Some WebKit scroll. So generally for Tailwind, there you cannot have like the scroll bar class things. You have to do it with vanilla CSS. You cannot do it with Velvet. So let's do like that. So I will say WebKit and scroll bar, and here I will say width maybe 10 px, and height would be 100%. We need to do like this. So we should say I want that scroll bar applicable only for the message wrapper. So I'll just copy this one, message wrapper. So I want this message wrapper scroll bar to be like that. And actually, let's make this like 20 px, or rather, let's make it 10 px. 10 px is fine. So we have our scroll bar there, and let's give it some colors. So we'll do background. Rather, let's do a combination of vanilla CSS and Tailwind classes. So we'll do apply, and we will do PG gray 50. It should be BG, not triangular. So it become BG. So you see, like, we have our scroll bar over here like this. Now let's make it a bit smaller as well. So let's do it 5 px actually. Yeah, this should be okay. Or rather, let's make it 1 px. Yeah, so we have our scroll bar set over here. So we have this scroll bar and this notification banner correctly. So that's all from me. Like, this is just a mock-up. Of course, it's not 100% accurate, but just like a simple thing to create, or just an attempt to create a using Tailwind classes, and just to tell you some of the basic Tailwind classes and how to use them and create a mobile lock screen mockup. Hope you like this video, and as it says from me in that notification, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. So see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.